Her question: I was hurt in a wreck. My lawyer says we should take what the insurance company is offering, but it doesn't seem like enough. I'd rather go to trial. Do I have to settle my case if my lawyer says so? And your advice for Kim?
Well, Kim, that's actually a good question. And the answer is you do not have to settle the claim if your lawyer says settle. I would caution you that many times if you have hired an experienced trial lawyer or someone who's experienced in the area, most lawyers will give you good advice as far as what you need to do and give you recommendations on settlement. But generally speaking, the settlement of the claim is your prerogative, taking your lawyer's advice. But if your choice is to go to trial, then I'm sure your lawyer will tell you that there are risks and pitfalls in doing so, but that you certainly have a right to do that. And any good trial lawyer would respect your decision and go ahead and take the case to trial. Rocky, what do you think?
I think you're right. And I think it's why the initial decision of who you're going to hire as a lawyer is one of the most important decisions you can make, because you're probably only going to have hopefully one personal injury case in your life, one time that you're injured through somebody else's fault. And so you really need to do your homework and pick a firm that has the reputation, the ability, and the financial means to see your case through to the end. What you don't want, and look, I've been there. I've been a young lawyer. I've had my own firm, where we only had a couple people there and one copier and a conference table. And this is not to talk bad about a young attorney, but you don't want to have somebody that is trying their first case of a type of case, because the insurance companies know who can go to court and who can't. Tim Porter, they know he's going to go to trial if they make a bad offer, if that's what the client wants. They know that I'll go to trial. They know my firm will go to trial. That is very important to an insurance company, because they evaluate every case before it goes to trial on the facts, the damages, the plaintiff's demeanor, how they'll do as a witness. And one of the other categories is the lawyer's reputation at trial. It is a factor in how much money they're going to give you. So you really need to think about that before you hire someone.
And let me bring up one point, Rock. You mentioned the financial ability to try the case. I mean, that's always very important, that the lawyer that you hire has the financial wherewithal to be able to litigate cases, especially those that are going to cost a great deal of money to litigate. But also you need to consider the lawyer that you hired, his recommendation on whether to settle the case or try the case based upon what he believes the maximum value of that claim may be. Because many times you may have a case that may settle for what will be less than the maximum value. But if you take into your best day at court and taking into account what your trial expenses will be to go there, you may be in a worse position by trying the case and winning it based upon the expenses that it costs to actually litigate the claim to verdict.
That's true. And one last thing is, you never want to get in a situation where your lawyer, because of maybe their own personal issues, finances, is putting their interests above yours to try and get you to settle your case for cheap. It's probably the only case you're ever going to have, and the money has to last you forever. You truly need a counselor, an objective attorney who can look at your case from 30,000 feet and say, here's the good, here's the bad, based on my 20 years experience, here's what I think will probably happen. Can't guarantee it, but that's why you came to us in the first place. But you don't want somebody who's out there struggling to make ends meet, who might say, well, let's just take this money. I think it's a good settlement, when it's really not in your best interest.